Hi everyone, it's Gene Calderon here with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries, continuing on with our teaching series, our daily different themed series, and today is Sunday, and so on Sundays we like to do what we call Sunday Science. This is when we look at the science and all the discoveries and the things that we've seen about in the past, and maybe even make some predictions about the future to see if what we believe actually lines up with what we actually find in the history of nature or the other kinds of sciences that do exist out there to help us make discoveries about things that we know or hold to be true. So today what we're going to look at is, as we've been going through these previous weeks, we've been kind of looking at what's been known as the icons of evolution and seeing how well they hold up, if at all. And today we're going to talk about one of those icons known as Haeckels Embryos. This was a study when a scientist known as Ernst Haeckel had come up with an idea about looking at the past and looking at how everything came to be as far as living organisms and how similar they may have been. Now, Ernst Haeckel is famous for a drawing that was produced that would show different animals in their earliest stages. So, for instance, he put together some drawings about a fish, a salamander, a tortoise, a chicken, a hog, a calf, a rabbit, and a human being side by side during these stages of development. And the illustration was meant to support Darwin's claim that the similarities are the strongest in favor of his theory that all organisms share a universal ancestor. But when we look at these and actually look at the drawings compared to the actual embryos themselves, we find they do not fit. See, there's a couple of problems with the drawings. First of all, the similarities in the early stages are not accurate and or even accused of being faked. In some of the cases, Haeckel used the same woodcut to print embryos from different classes because he was so confident in his theory that he figured he really didn't need to draw them separately. And in other cases, again, as it's accused, that he doctored the drawings to make them look just a little bit more similar than they actually were. In fact, there was a huge case study. This was exposed way back in the 1860s. I mean, here we are in 2020, and this is still something that is being promoted in some science books. And so this is something that we really should look at. 1860s is quite a long time ago. Maybe some people have forgot it. Maybe it's been buried somewhere, but we can find information about whether or not these were actually accurate. Another problem is found in Haeckel's choices for his examples. He only shows a few of the 7 vertebrate classes. In fact, 4 of them are placental mammals, but there are others which he didn't show that are very different. Also, he uses a salamander to represent amphibians, but not a frog, which those two would look very different in their embryonic stage. So it seems that the representatives of his drawings were picked as the ones that came out closest to fitting his idea. And then, again, if the accusations are true, taking it a step further by actually trying to fake some of the similarities. Okay, and I know that's a major accusation, but in science, this has actually been done before. Things have been faked before. And so the major problem that we actually see is that these are not the earliest development stages. They're actually somewhere in the midpoint of the development. You go back to the earlier stages, the embryos look much more different from each other than similar. Again, these earliest stages from Haeckel's drawings were omitted. They're not included. So we don't really get to see how the origins of these species came to be. Now, remember, Darwin claimed that because the embryos are so similar in the earliest stages, that would be evidence of a common ancestor. But like I just said, we're not finding that. The cell divisions in a mammal are very, very different than in any other class of living beings. And so there's no possible way to accidentally mix these up or to think that one embryo came from another when there's different classes, such as mammals to reptiles to amphibians to birds or things like that. And so when we take a look at this, we do find some missing gaps in there. And that's why Haeckels embryos have been known to not be credible. You may find it in some books, maybe the books explaining some of the theories that existed back then, but unfortunately, many people look at this and consider them fact. It's up to you. Take a look at it. Look back at the 1860s on forward and see what's been changed or what's been revealed. But again, we just don't see it holding up. Maybe you got something different. Maybe you can see something that we're not seeing as of yet. But so far, this is the reason why we believe in a creator, someone who came in and created all things, not through random processes of evolution, but by an intelligent design, an intelligent creator who had put them all together in the first place. So I hope this helps you. This is, again, Gene Calderon, just looking to see what we can discover scientifically on this Sunday. If you'd like to hear more about this, you can follow us here on the YouTube page or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. If you'd like to be a supporter of a local missionary here in Northwest Indiana, that's what I am, with the ministry known as Ratio Christi, which is a college-based organization. We focus on apologetics and training students to be able to defend their faith, knowing why we believe what we believe. Or if you're interested in more of a ministerial type of role that I play, I do serve at East Chicago, Freedom Church in East Chicago, Sunday mornings or Bible studies and things like that. Or lastly, hey, if your church or your study group would like to hear more about apologetics, science, history, philosophy, theology, morality, things like that, I always welcome an invitation to be able to speak to your group. All I need is time and space and the invite, and we will be happy to set that up with you. So God bless you. Thank you again for watching. And hey, if you have any questions or thoughts, the links are below and the comments are available. Thank you again.